Hello everyone, I am Teacher Marcel, and today we're going to multiply fractions. Today we're going to study a very easy operation on fraction. This is easier than addition and subtraction, and I'm talking about multiplying fractions. And it's very easy. So multiplying fractions is like taking part of another part. Please be reminded that in math, the word of here means multiplying or times. Okay, so I hope you will learn a lot in this video. When we say that multiplying fractions is like taking part of another part, what do we mean by that? For example, in this pizza, this is half a pizza. And can I take 1/2 of 1/2? 1/2 of half? Definitely yes. So what do we mean by that? What is 1/2 of 1/2? We're actually getting the half of it, and if we are going to get the half, then we have this part. And what is that? That's right, we will have 1/4 of a pizza. Okay, so how do we represent that? It means that 1/2, again, we said that the word of is times 1/2 of 1/2 equals 1/4. So how did we do that? It's like we just multiplied the numerators. 1 and 1 equals 1, and we multiplied the denominators. 2 times 2 equals 4, which is 1/4, and it's the same as our answer here. When we multiply fractions by a whole number, it's like taking part of a whole. For example, what is 1/2 of 4? So the word of means times, so we know that half of 4 is 2, right? So it's like we take 2 out of 4. So 1/2 of 4, you know it's 2, right? Or if you are going to write this, every whole number has an invisible 1, because because any number divided by 1 is the number itself. So now we can just multiply numerator times the numerator. 4 divided by 2, and the answer is 2, which is the same as that. So when we multiply fractions, we can just follow these steps. First is to multiply the numerators. In number 1, our numerators are 3 and 2. So we will just multiply 3 times 2. And since we know that our answer will be a fraction, then we can just put a fraction bar. And let's go to step number 2. Multiply the denominators. In this case, we have 5 times 5. Okay, then let's multiply. 3 times 2 is 6, and 5 times 5 is 25. Step 3, express the final answer in its lowest term. Is 6 over 25 in lowest term? Yes. Why? Because there's no other factor except 1. So this is already our final answer. Let's go to our number 2 problem. We have 5, 6 times 3, 8. Again, multiply the numerators. So it's the top times top. 5 times 3, 15. And multiply the denominator. 6 times 8 is 48. Okay, then simplify. What is our GCF? We can still divide this by 3. Okay, so 15 divided by 3 is 5. Then 48 divided by 3 is 16. So our answer is 5/16. Then let's go to our example number 3. You may ask, but teacher, we have 3 fractions. Is this also applicable to that? The answer is yes. Okay, so let's just multiply all the numerators. So it's 1 times 2, 2. Then 2 times 5 is 10. Over 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 6 is 36. Okay, then let's simplify. We can still divide this by 2. Okay, so we have 5 over 18. So our answer is 5/18. So again, multiply the numerators, multiply the denominators, then express the final answer in lowest term. Okay, we can also use cancellations when we multiply fractions. What do we mean by cancellation, or how do we do that? So for example, in number 1, we have 2/5 times 2/8. Normally, we will just multiply 2 times 2 equals 4, and then 5 times 8 is 40. And then we will express in lowest term, right? So this is 1/10. Okay, but sometimes when we have 3 or more fractions, then it's harder if we will just multiply all the numerators and the denominators. So we have one way to, so that it will be easier. So it's like we express first the fractions in lowest term before we multiply them. Okay, so how to do that? I'm going to show you. Let's clear that one first. Okay, so here we are just going to look for a numerator and a denominator that has a common factor, and we can cancel them out, or we can express it in lowest term. For example, in number 1, we have 2 and 8. It can be divided by 2, and we have 1 and 4. Now you will ask, teacher, can I also have, instead of the 2 here, can I cancel the 2 here? Yes, as long as 1 is on the denominator and 1 is in the denominator. It can be vertically or diagonally, as long as we are canceling one numerator and one denominator. Okay, so let's continue. So now it's just 1/4. Then we can go to step 1. So it's like we just put number 3 on top, and then we do the multiply the numerator and multiply the denominator. So still the same, 2 times 1 equals 2. Oh, sorry. We can actually simplify 2 and 4, right? So we have 2 and 4. 2 can be divided by 2, so this is 1, and 4 divided by 2 is 2. So is there any more? No more. Now we can proceed. 1 times 1 is 1, and then 5 times 2 is 10. Okay? So our answer is also 1/10. Okay, so let's go to the second example here. We have 1/2 times 2/3 times 5, 6. So let's look for numbers that we can cancel out. One numerator, one denominator that has a common factor. So I can see that 2 and 6 can be divided by 2. So this will be 1 and 6 will be 3. Now, do we have any more numbers, numerators and denominators with common factors? So we have 1, 1 and 5, and at the bottom we have 2, 3 and 3. I think that's it. So we can now multiply the numerators. 1 times 1 is 1 times 5 is 5, and then 2 times 3 is 6, then 6 times 3 is 18. So it's 5/18. So it's already in its lowest term automatically, right? Okay, let's have 5, 6 times 3, 8. I can see that we can cancel out 3 and 6. Okay, it's divisible by 3, both of them. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Okay, so can we cancel 5 and 8 or 5 and 2? No more. So let's multiply the numerators. 5 times 1 is 5. Then 2 times 8 is 16. So our answer is 5/16. Easy, right? In multiplying mixed numbers, we need to do one important step first before we can apply the rest of the steps that we did in our previous examples. So first, we need to change mixed numbers to improper fractions. We cannot multiply yet if we will not change mixed to improper. So that's the first thing to do. Let's change 5.5 to improper fraction. So how to change? 5 times 2 is 10. 10 plus 1 is 11. 11 halves times 6. And we know that all whole numbers have a denominator 1 because a number divided by 1 is always the number itself, right? So do we have numerators and denominators to cancel out? Yes, I can see 2 and 6. So this is 1, this is 3, and no more. So we can just multiply numerators. 11 times 3 is 33. 1 times 1 is 1. 33 over 1 is 33. Okay, let's go to number 2, 5 and 1/4. So we will change this to improper. 4 times 5 is 20. 20 plus 1 is 21. Let's change this to green so you can see. So it's 21 over 4 times, let's just copy the 1 over 7. Okay, so do we have numbers to cancel out? I can see 7 and 21. Yes, so 1 and this is 3. Is there any more? No more. So we can multiply now. 3 times 1 is 3 and 4 times 1 is 4. So our answer is 3/4. Right? So let's have the third example. Let's change 2 and 1/10 to improper. So same step. 10 times 2 is 20. 20 plus 1 is 21 over 10 times. This is 4 times 1. 4 plus 1 is 5 over 4. Okay, so can we cancel out from one numerator and one denominator with common factor? Yes, I can see 5 and 10 divisible by 5. So it's 1 and 2. Okay, are there any more numbers? No more. So we can just multiply 21 times 1 is 21. And then 2 times 4 is 8. It's an improper fraction, and we cannot have an improper fraction as our final answer. So let's change. How many 8s are there in 21? There are only 2 8s with a denominator of 5. I mean a remainder of 5. And then let's just copy the denominator 8. 2 and 5 eighths. If you want to check, you can multiply 2 times 8 is 16 plus 5 is 21. 21 over 8. So it means our answer is correct. Okay, so that's how you multiply mixed numbers or fractions by mixed numbers. First, you change the mixed number first to improper fraction, and then you can cancel out and then multiply the numerators and multiply the denominators. I'm sure you're ready to answer it on your own, so go and get your math notebook and answer the following. I hope you learned a lot from this video. Goodbye for now. God bless you.